Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's Jamar back from Vegas Sense, and in this video I'm giving you all my top 10 list of my top 10 favorite fragrances that I've bought this particular year. So this is going to be clones, original fragrances, doesn't matter. These are my top 10 favorite fragrances that I purchased this year. All right, so definitely stick around for the rest of the video. Also, do me a favor, if you're brand new to this channel, just go ahead and subscribe. And also to anyone watching, leave a like and a comment. All right, so getting straight into the video, I'm gonna start this particular video off with one of the more newer fragrances that have actually come out. This is gonna be from Lattafa. It's part of their Badi Al Oud series, and this is Honor and Glory. All right, so Honor and Glory, this is pretty much, it's a really juicy, sparkly, sweet pineapple mixed with, sort of like vanilla and spices, like, cinnamon. This smells absolutely amazing. I think that this is a really great choice for like the fall, and I would say even like the sort of early spring months. I think that, this would definitely shine in those particular situations. So absolutely, man, check this one out. This is going to be Honor and Glory by Lattafa. Next fragrance up is going to be from the house of Byredo, and I picked up a full bottle of this after smelling a clone from Paris Corner Amir, which was the Vibrant Vetiver Delight. And this is going to be Byredo's Bal D'afrique. All right, so after doing the sort of side-by-side comparison video between Bal D'afrique and the Vibrant Vetiver Delight, I really loved the way that Vibrant Vetiver Delight smelled. It definitely came, I would say, at least about 90% or so close to the Byredo, but there was just something about the Byredo that just had me like, I have to have a full bottle of this. The black currant in this just smelled better, in my opinion, than what it did in the Vibrant Vetiver Delight. And this one was also a little bit more sweeter. The Vibrant Vetiver Delight to me was a little bit more sort of drier and sort of, I would say, more so kind of vetiver focused. But yeah, man, in my opinion, this is an amazing fragrance, especially for like those super high heat days. That's mainly where I wore this particular fragrance. Was like on days when it was like 110 plus degrees outside. This performed really nicely. This is going to be Byredo's Bal D'afrique. Next fragrance up, this is going to be from the house of Zara. All right, and this is going to be Tender Amber by Zara. So Tender Amber, this is pretty much, in my opinion, it's inspired by Herba Pura by Xerjoff. But I'm not going to say that this is necessarily a clone of that particular fragrance, because there are some things that are done differently in this one. So this definitely, you get more of sort of like a kind of mandarin and bergamot sort of citrus opening with this fragrance, which makes this one a lot more sort of fresher and less dense than what Herba Pura is. That also makes this fragrance, in my opinion, a lot more sort of masculine, because it also doesn't have nearly as much vanilla in this particular fragrance as what Herba Pura does. And also there's not as much sort of heavy muskiness that you get from this fragrance either. So I definitely think that this is more of sort of like a more unisex take, maybe even slightly masculine leaning take on Herba Pura. And that's what actually makes me enjoy this fragrance a lot. All right, so again, this is going to be Tender Amber by Zara. Next fragrance up is going to be from the house of Fragrance World. This is their take on YSL's Tuxedo, and this is going to be Fragrance World Suits. So Fragrance World Suits, in my opinion, again, it's going to be the best sort of YSL Tuxedo clone that you can find out there. Has really great performance in terms of longevity and projection. Smells really high quality. In my opinion, in the initial opening, it doesn't smell exactly the same as what, Tuxedo does. And it also is slightly different from like Maison Alhambra's The Tux. Doesn't have nearly as much spice in the opening as what those two have. It's a little bit sweeter. But In my opinion, where this one shines is definitely the mid and the dry down with the patchouli and sort of like that extra like added bourbon vanilla sort of note that you get with the YSL's Tuxedo. This smells amazing. And again, this is going to be Fragrance World's Suits. Next fragrance up, this is going to be from the house of Initio. This is the first Initio fragrance that I purchased. And this is one that I had been wanting to purchase for years, but just didn't, I never really had the money to pick it up. So this is going to be Initio's Rehab. All right, so Initio's Rehab, this particular fragrance, I mean, I know a lot of people kind of compare this to Viktor and Rolf Spice Bomb. And I mean, I would say in the opening of the fragrance, you know, it does smell very similar to that particular fragrance. But in my opinion, overall, this is definitely a completely different scent. If we're talking about like the original Spice Bomb, the main difference that I noticed between that fragrance and this is in the far dry down, you get sort of like this kind of sweet, sort of tobacco sort of dry down mixed with woods in that particular fragrance. Whereas with this one, I feel like you get like a mixture of kind of like a creamy sort of woods mixed with lavender with this particular fragrance, which in my opinion, it makes it a little bit more sort of sweeter. And just overall, man, the ingredients and the blend in this fragrance are just completely top notch. They blow, in my opinion, Spice Bomb out of the water. So I absolutely love this particular fragrance every time I wear it. And again, this is going to be Initio's Rehab. Next fragrance up, this is going to be from the house of Rasasi, and this is going to be Rasasi's take on Gucci Guilty. And this is Sotoor Taa. Sotoor Taa. So this is pretty much, this is Gucci Guilty with the performance that it probably should have had all along. This is a beast mode version of that particular fragrance. You know, it's aquatic, but at the same time, it's sort of dense and vanillic. It also has a heavy emphasis on florals as well. I think especially like the floral of like geranium. So this is just it's a really sort of classic fragrance, at least for me, because this is a fragrance DNA that, you know, I was crazy about probably 10 plus years ago. So to have this particular bottle and it actually performs, you know, all day, I absolutely love that this one exists. This one you can find typically for like around that $50 to $60 mark, and I believe this is a 100 ml bottle. So it's absolutely worth it. And like I said, the performance is much better than what you get with the Gucci. So absolutely check this one out. This is Sotoor Taa by Rasasi. Next fragrance up, this is going to be from the house of Armaf. And this is going to be, in my opinion, the sort of best bang for your buck when it comes to the Creed Aventus scent DNA. And this is going to be Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum. This to me is the best, you know, sort of, I would say under $100, you know, clone that you can find for Creed's Aventus. I know obviously there's clones like, you know, the Parfum's Vintage that a lot of people, you know, definitely have in high regards. But the Parfum's Vintage fragrances are a lot more expensive than what this one is. You can find this one, I think, on Joma Shop for like around $60. And this is I believe it's like 120 or 125 ml bottle, something like that. So this is absolutely amazing when it comes to the price. And I mean, after smelling this side by side with a sample of Aventus that I had, I didn't really pick up on too many differences other than the fact that this one was just slightly sweeter. But in my opinion, this is the best sort of Aventus clone that you can get at a reasonable price. All right. So again, this is going to be Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man Limited Edition Parfum. Next fragrance up, this is going to be Fragrance World's take on Parfums de Marly's Latent Exclusive. This is going to be Anaqeed. So Anaqeed, man, this is a really, really nice clone of Parfums de Marly's Latent Exclusive. I did get a sample of Latent Exclusive and kind of wear the two side by side, and I mean the differences I would say are pretty negligible. Especially when you're talking about how these two smell in the air. This smells extremely high quality for it to be just a $50 fragrance. And I mean, it performs just as good as the Parfums de Marly does. I would say the Parfums de Marly, it has slightly better projection, at least on me. But you know, longevity wise, this one is right there pretty much with it. And like I said, quality wise, in terms of the quality of the smell of this particular fragrance, it's pretty much right there with the Parfums de Marly as well. So if you're looking for that sort of extra sort of oud and civet, you know, touch that the Parfums de Marly Latent Exclusive has, but you don't want to spend $400+ on, you know, 120 ml bottle from Parfums de Marly, then absolutely I would say this is going to be your best bet. This is going to be Anaki by Fragrance World. Next fragrance up, this is also going to be from Fragrance World, and this is going to be a part of their Barakkat line. This is their take on MFK's Grand Soir, and this is going to be Barakat Amber Eve. So Barakat Amber Eve, man, I know I had smelled MFK's Grand Soir a long time ago, like at least probably about 5-6 years ago. And I believe when I smelled it, I loved the way that it smelled, but over the years, I kind of forgot how that particular fragrance smelled. So I went ahead and picked this particular fragrance up because I had been wanting that particular scent profile in my collection, especially for sort of like this fall and winter time that's coming up here. And this is absolutely amazing, man. It starts off with like a really sort of fizzy sort of amber note that you get from this particular fragrance. That lasts for a little while, and then I would say after that you start to get like this really sort of sweet, vanillic, resinous sort of feel to this particular fragrance. This fragrance is extremely resinous. So if you like sort of sweeter, resinous, ambery type of fragrances, this is going to be right up your alley. This absolutely smells of super high quality as well, especially for the price that this one goes for. I think I picked this one up for like $25 shipped from fragranshop.com. So absolutely, man, pick this one up if you can find it. This is going to be Barakat Amber Eve by Fragrance World. And the last fragrance on this list is one that, you know, I can't wait to start being able to wear this fragrance. I'm probably going to have to buy a backup bottle of it because I'm going to be wearing this fragrance a lot in the next coming months. This is going to be Rifaaqat by Paris Corner, and this is their take on YSL's Baby Cat. This is YSL's Baby Cat with a slight twist. This definitely has like a more sort of smokier incense type of, you know, vibe from it in the initial opening of the fragrance. And then in the dry down, you get more of sort of like this sweet sort of vanillic type of feel from the fragrance than what you get from YSL's Baby Cat. The performance is not as good as Baby Cat. This one lasts about 7 to 8 hours or so. Baby Cat is a little bit longer than that, more so kind of like around that 10 to 11 hour mark. But either way, man, I would say for the price that you can get this particular fragrance at, and for the way that this one smells, I think this is absolutely worth it. This one goes for about like $40 to $42, I believe, on Aroma Concepts. And this is for an 85 ml bottle. All right. So again, this one is going to be Rifaaqat by Paris Corner. So that's the list, man. These are my top 10 favorite fragrances that I picked up this year. So let me know what you all thought of the list. Do you all have any of these fragrances? And if so, what do you all think about the fragrances? All right. So definitely leave a like and a comment below on this particular video. And again, if you're brand new, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And again, that's Jamar from Vegas Scents. I'll see you on the next video.